You find me. Hey, good morning. I am excited to be here. I've come home. I've come to where I grew up. This is actually not the house I grew up in. This is my brother's house. He has stayed here, and if you haven't figured it out, it's right outside of Pittsburgh. And we definitely are gathered as a family. We get to go to training camp for the Steelers today, and then we go to Pirate game, and then we have a family reunion after we go to church on Sunday. So it is typical of my childhood. Our family priorities where we were, it's pretty much, it was church, family, and Pittsburgh sports and ball teams, which is kind of fun. But it brought me to today's verse. And today's verse, when I started thinking about it, being at someone else's house and they're all in bed, and I'm thinking, okay, I don't have connection to internet, so I couldn't, my Bible app for whatever reason wouldn't pull up. But I brought me back to this verse here. And it was interesting because when I opened my Bible, I came to here, and this is the verse that I just put on for a friend for their birthday online. And it was a good reminder to me because it talks about the fact where it says in Philippians, Paul is talking to the Philippian church, and he says, I am certain that God, who began a good work in you, will continue to work until he faithfully finishes it on the day when Jesus Christ returns. I pray that love will overflow more and more, that you will keep on growing in knowledge and understanding. For I want you to understand what really matters, so that you may live a pure and blameless life until the day that Christ returns. May you always be filled with the fruit of your salvation, the righteous character produced in your life by Jesus Christ. For this will bring much glory and praise to God. Then he goes into chapter 2 and verse 3, and he says, don't be selfish. Don't try to impress others. Be humble. Think of others as better than yourself. Do not look out only for your own interest, but take an interest in others too. You must have the same attitude that Christ Jesus had. It's meant a lot to me this morning because I started thinking of heritage. I started thinking, what all my mother gave us. I'm looking forward, hopefully in a prayer porch, I'll bring some of my siblings out and let you meet. And I know my great niece is like dying to get on here. She's a subscriber, and she's like, oh, I get to be on the prayer porch. So I'm excited to share that with you and to share it with them. But more, I'm excited to share Jesus. I really started thinking when I come back, every time I come back home to Pennsylvania, I think of my heritage, and I start thinking, he who began a good work. This is where it started for me. This is where it started for me. I'll be able to go to my home church where I was given wonderful spiritual roots this week. I look forward to that because that's where it began for me. I'll drive out by the old house and see how much it's changed and what it's done in the old neighborhood, and we're getting together with some other friends and families, and I look forward to that because all of that is part of our childhood, part of it. And for each of us, we have wonderful moments of our childhood that we treasure and hold on to. For some of us, we don't have such wonderful moments. But you know what? It doesn't matter because I've had both. I've had experiences in my life I wish I didn't have. I had experiences in my life that I'm glad I had, and I wouldn't trade them for the world. But this is it. No matter what we've been through and where we've been, he's with us. He's with us. And no matter what Satan has thrown our way, if I've learned anything in my lifetime, I don't know if my family will share some stories with you or not. I kind of halfway hope they do and don't, because I was blessed with good parents. I was blessed with, I didn't have an abusive lifestyle. But boy, did I think I did. Boy, did I think I thought that everyone else must have had something that I didn't have. And because when I realized I was so centered on myself. I was so centered on myself as a child, and it made me angry. I was an angry child. And no one saw it on the outside very much because I kept it at home. But I was angry because I couldn't be my brother or my sister. And I felt like they got everything. Why did I not get anything? Why was I not cute like her? Why was I not athletic like him? Why was I? And I look back and I thought, I could play a good game of ball. Do you know what? I look back and I wasn't an ugly kid. I'm thinking, why did I not see that in myself? Why did I get so angry and think I had to prove something and be something that I was not? When all that time, he was working in me. I remember I had the privilege of going to a wonderful school in this area. Hempfield's a good school. They're known for a good education. And here, the whole time I was there, I'm not smart enough. I'm not this. And I'm getting together with some of my high school friends, and when they share with me their perspective of me when I was in school, I'm thinking, really? Because that's not how I saw myself. That's not how I saw myself. We're always spending time wishing we could be someone else. I don't know if she's listening or not, but there's a friend of mine in college, Sheila Morehouse. Now, she was, at that time, Sheila Angel, and she was an angel for me in this particular moment. Because I remember sitting there thinking, I thought, I wish that I was wishing that I was someone else. I was wishing, why can't I be as easy? It's like y'all are naturally beautiful, and why do y'all let me hang around with you? And I always said negative things, and I don't know why, but I did. And I remember her looking at me, and I said, she said, you know what? Because she worked in broadcasting, and she said, you know what? She said, even the models that you think are gorgeous are not happy with themselves. They're airbrushing this, they're changing this. Why is it that we go through life never happy with what God gave us? Why are we not proud of, I got this beautiful nose that no one else has. So after that, I really, honestly, she will never know the impact that left on me, because I left her college room that day and I started thinking to myself, you know what? What is it that I like about myself? And I realized I almost tease now, because I don't almost tease. I joke with my family and I said, you know what? I love my eyes. I love my eyes. So I said, these are dark eyes. People don't always have dark eyes. Eyes are so dark you can't hardly find the pupil unless you really look. And then I love okay, true confessions here. I like my legs. I like my legs and feet. So I tease and I say, when I die and I'm in the casket, let them pop open my eyes. And my kids are like, Mom, that's really gross. And I said, I know, I'm just kidding. But I said, if you get pictures and you show these pictures at my memorial service, make sure you get my eyes. And I said, you can pop out my legs and my feet. And my kids are like, oh, Mom, you are so not normal. You are so not normal. And I'm like, but I have found things I like about myself. Even my hair that comes out here on the prayer porch, and it looks great when I come out, and then by the time I'm out here, the humidity is chi at it. But you know what? That's how my hair is. And that's what I like. But more than that, I like the one in my heart. I like the one who started a good work in me, who's been faithful to complete it. He's been faithful to complete it. And he has taken all of the things that I thought was bad in my life. And some of you are out there saying, I can't believe those are the things you thought were bad. There are things. When I was single, I was lonely. I thought no one would want me. When I lost my children, I have had some heartaches. When my parents died, that was a big loss for me. I have gone through times where people have told me, doctors have told me, we're pretty sure you have cancer, this looks like cancer, or you're going to be blind and you're never going to see again. Or waking up totally deaf, knowing I may never hear another sound. I wept knowing I wanted to hear my babies cry. But I've learned that all of those things and more, I have watched God turn around for me. And he has said, do you know what? What Satan intended for evil, I intend for good, because I who began a good work in you, I am faithful to complete it. I will complete it and continue this work until it's finally finished on the day when Jesus Christ returns. My life isn't even finished after I die, because I hope that the legacy that I left behind will continue and go. We talked about that when we were looking in Numbers with the people of Israel. God said, your actions not only affect you, they affect generations to come. Generations to come. Yesterday when we talked about Mary, after I read the verse in yesterday's prayer porch, I started thinking when I was writing the commentary, and I actually think the commentary, the description of the YouTube thing, I thought came out better than YouTube, because God just started pouring thoughts out in me. And he said, you know what? When the angel said to Mary, Mary, you have been chosen among women, she basically, I always thought she's jumped back in fear of the angel. But if you go back and read, there's some simple words in there in every translation, because I checked to see if it was a translation thing. It says, she feared what he said. She basically said, who, me? You found favor in me? You have a plan for me? Because she thought she was just another girl. You know what? We're not just another man, or just another lady, or just another boy, or just another girl. We're a person who God started a good work. He started a good work in you, and he is faithful to complete it. So, I am going to leave you with the same prayer that Paul left the Philippians with. I pray that your love overflows more and more, and that you keep on growing in knowledge and understanding, because I want you to understand, and I want you to understand what really matters, so that you may live a pure and blameless life until Christ return. May you always be filled with the fruit of your salvation, the righteous character produced in your life by Jesus Christ, because this is what brings glory to God. May we all focus today on what really matters, and know that he's working on us. I'll scan in a minute again this wonderful porch of my brother's that I'm sitting here on. He's worked on it. When he bought the house, it was just a tiny little porch. You could hardly get a couple chairs on it. But he has continued to work on it and make it something with the handiwork of his hands. You know what? That's what God does with us. He continues to work on us, to expand us, to make us all that we can be. So, I pray your love overflow more and more, because he who has worked on me is working on you. I love you. I'll see you next week. I guess it's Friday. I may throw some bonuses in this weekend. But I'll see you next week on the prayer porch. Like, share, get it around. But most of all, grow in him. Grow in him. I love you. I hope you have a great day. And I know I will. I love you. See you next week.